Alright, we're back here, and we had posted this challenge problem about a week or so ago, and I got a couple of responses, a couple of people quite close, but no one actually had it, so we're going to retire this one, we're going to solve this one, then we'll put another one out there later today. Alright, so let's see what they give us here. They give us a triangle, they tell us that A to C is 30, they tell us that A to B, this whole thing here, right, is going to be 18, and this whole side is 24, and it wants the perimeter of the little triangle, and they tell us these two lines are parallel. They mark these angles T and T, V and V. The only reason they do that is just to tell us that they're equal. So, alright, let's see what we can do here. I mean, when I see a big triangle and a little triangle inside there, and they tell me lines are parallel, I immediately start to think of similar triangles. That might do it. One person had done this, they just thought maybe this was just half, the little triangle was half the big triangle, which would, that's not the worst thought ever, perhaps a tad too simplistic, for a difficult problem like this. That's really just assuming stuff, so we don't know for sure. But as I always say to kids, when you see triangles, you always ask yourself, what do I know about the sides, and what do I know about the angles? Obviously the only thing we know so far about the sides is what was given, but let's look at the angles and try to use what's in front of us here. So we have parallel lines. So as soon as they tell me parallel lines are in play, I'm going to try to look at those rules, right? And so when I see that these two lines are parallel, well, I must know that this angle and this angle must be congruent, right? Those are just alternate interior angles, right? Just picture you have the two lines parallel, you have the line that goes through. Essentially that's T and that's T. So those are the same. And if I look on the other side, I have the same thing here. I have V, and on the opposite side, I have V. So now I have these little suckers here. We got two little isosceles triangles, and just remember, big theme, if two sides are the same, then two angles are the same. So now when I look at this, it's not drawn on scale, we've determined I'm not the greatest artist, but if this angle and this angle are the same, if I take the sides right across, I'm just going to label these X and Y. That side's X, and so must that side has to be X, right? And now if I look at these triangles, if these two angles are the same, I have two V's in there, we'll mark these with a Y. I just know that those two sides have to be the same. So I've got that going for me. Now you might say, well, okay, if this whole thing is 2t, then that's what this angle would be, right? That would be 2t. And if this whole angle is 2v, so would that be 2v. And you can use that. I don't think we're going to need that. You might even think, well, I have a triangle that's 18, 24, and 30, and that should be a right triangle. That's just an offshoot. It's a multiple of the 3, 4, 5 triangle, so you would know this is 90. And you can know that too, but I don't know that's going to help us, because we really don't have much here in terms of sides. But, I don't know, let's see. We want the perimeter. It's obviously going to be X plus Y on the bottom. That's going to be part of the perimeter, right? And it's just going to be, we'll just make these, I don't know, W and Z. I'm just pulling these numbers out of thin air. One thing I know for sure is that the perimeter is X plus Y plus W plus Z, right? I'm just going to put those letters in there just so you can see it. So that's the perimeter. Well, now I look, and I look at the picture, and I look at the picture. Well, wait a second. Look at this. I just know that W plus X, right? X and X are the same, but W plus X, that's 18, right? This plus this, that's 18. Now look at the other side. Well, heck. Z plus Y, that's got to be 24. So I have Z and a Y, and that's 24. Now I've taken care of all four sides, and I just get the perimeter to be 42.